Dandy L. DUNGO and Gregorio A. SIBAL, Jr., Petitioners, versus People of the Philippines, Respondent. Final note. Hazing has been a phenomenon that has beleaguered the country's educational institutions and communities. News of young men beaten to death as part of fraternities' violent initiation rites supposedly to seal fraternal bond has sent disturbing waves to lawmakers. Hence, R.A. No. 8049 was signed into law on June 7, 1995. Doubts on the effectiveness of the law were raised. The court, however, scrutinized its provisions and it is convinced that the law is rigorous in penalizing the crime of hazing. Hopefully, the present case will serve as a guide to the bench and the bar on the application of R.A. No. 8049. Through careful case build-up and proper presentation of evidence before the court, it is not impossible for the exalted constitutional presumption of innocence of the accused to be overcome and his guilt for the crime of hazing be proven beyond reasonable doubt. The prosecution must bear in mind the secretive nature of hazing, and carefully weave its chain of circumstantial evidence. Likewise, the defense must present a genuine defense and substantiate the same through credible and reliable witnesses. The counsels of both parties must also consider hazing as a malum prohibitum crime and the law's distinctive provisions. While the court finds R.A. No. 8049 adequate to deter and prosecute hazing, the law is far from perfect. In Villarreal v. People, the court suggested that the fact of intoxication and the presence of non-resident or alumni fraternity members during hazing should be considered as aggravating circumstances that would increase the applicable penalties. Equally, based on the discussion earlier, this court suggests some further amendments to the law. First, there should be a penalty or liability for non-compliance with Section 2, or the written notice requirement, and with Section 3, or the representation requirement. Second, the penalties under Section 4 should also consider the psychological harm done to the victim of hazing. With these additional inputs on R.A. No. 8049, the movement against hazing can be invigorated. R.A. No. 8049 is a democratic response to the uproar against hazing. It demonstrates that there must, and should, be another way of fostering brotherhood, other than through the culture of violence and suffering. The senseless deaths of these young men shall never be forgotten, for justice is the spark that lights the candles of their graves.